What's up guys, Esu here, and today I'll be teaching you how to loop the New Ormond main building. And basically how the map works as a whole. Starting off, the New Ormond is 132 square tiles or 8,448 meters square. It is composed of a main building, a scaffold tower, 4 jungle gym tiles, 3 pits or hill spawns, a shack, a cement cylinder, and an underground one too. So starting off with the main building, which is pretty strong, it has 5 pallets, 3 vaults, as well as like an underground tunnel linking to another pallet and the scaffold over there. I mean, starting off with the first pallet, I'd say this one right here is pretty good. You can either loop it this side, which is short and unsafe-ish. Well, both sides are unsafe. Or you can loop it on this side, which you can see the killer, as you can see through like this little opening on both sides, or just like coming around, you know, every time you loop around. I'd say it's a pretty good palette to me, like for M1 killers. Basically range killers, it's really weird, especially like this side. It's like not that bad. Then jumping back over here to this palette, I'd say this one is an all right palette. Usually if you pre-drop it, I would not pre-drop this palette at all. I try to play for the stun right here, because if you don't get the stun on this palette, basically what will happen is the killer would sit like in this area, making you vault either or to try to get a hit off of you. So I'd say don't even be hasty to throw the pallet. I'd wait till I'd feel like the killer is going to disrespect the pallet and just throw it on them for this one. So this pallet is not the best right here, but a pallet is still a pallet, which can be useful, especially like with buying time for your team to do generators or whatever. The thing that I do is, like, if you throw it on this side, like if you get the stun, you know, just run this way, go out the door. If you throw it on this side, if you get the stun, you can either go here or you can fake going there and go for this vault down here, which is a pretty good vault if they're following down that way, like down that aisle. But if they go around this way, well, they can cut you off from going over here, or they go that way. But if not, you know, you can make it to this outlet over here. Now this pallet right here is really good. It's a god pallet in a sense. It's a god pallet on this side when you throw it on this side. The thing is, if you were on this side, right, the killer could drop down right here and come around and hit you if you try to immediately leave. So when you throw this pallet, do not immediately leave if the killer's on that side. You'd wait. If they drop down the stairs, you just vault back and you can like immediately go over here. But I'd just say wait right here to see what the killer does, because they can try to cut you off and hit you on that side. Or say the killer was walking around this way and you were, you know, about to go all the way around to hit the vault again. They can literally just drop down right here again, go around and try to cut you off. Or, you know, if they're trying to like even like slightly play that mind game, you can try to make it up here back to this pallet if anything. But like there's so many scenarios you can go with this pallet right here. But yeah, this pallet right here is definitely a god pallet on this side. And here's the 5th pallet right here. This one against range killers is not the best, but it's still like a nice pallet to have. I'd say I still wouldn't pre-drop it either. I just drop it whenever the killer kind of gets close. You can play the fakes. If the killer's far on this side right here, like right here where I'm at, and you're like over here, you can try to fake like you're going around. Or you like, say you're coming this way and you fake for the vault and they go back around. Once you get around this area, I'd just straight up leave and go to these tiles, play one of these tiles over here, because there aren't 2 tiles on the side of main building. Next is with the vaults. I already kind of spoke on this vault right here. How do you play this? You can either throw this pallet, or just like if you have enough distance when you're coming up here, you can go for this fast vault like this. Since they can only follow this lane, if they're following you exactly, then they'd be going around that side, or they'd be going around this side. And you have enough time to make it over here depending on the distance. This vault over here is absolutely terrible. Never even use this vault. There's no reason to use it. And then this vault right here is the god vault. One of the best vaults. It is the best vault on this map. Really strong vault overall. I'd say like when you're running it this way, I'd wait for the killer to get like right here, like coming up like right here, like they're about to hit you, and you can go for the fast vault. And yeah, they can't come back around and hit you either, so you just go back and play this pallet. With this part broken, you can run it either way. You could like run around this side and then kind of play your patience out, or just go back around this side. It just depends. Now you can get the fast vault. You can get it like coming this way, as you can see, or you know, just the regular, you know, coming around and getting it that way, or you know, coming around this side and getting it up here, you know. But one thing to note, right, is if you're coming from up this way, you know, going down these stairs for this vault, there is a drop down right there. As you can see, the killer can drop down and cut you off before it. Or if you're just sitting right here waiting, like right here, and not looking up there to see if the killer was coming from that side to hit you, just be wary that that drop down is there. Another thing to note about this is that this pallet out here is always here. Really, it's hard to reach here from like over there or over here, you know, I will not lie, but this pallet is here. It's a very unsafe pallet, but you know, a pallet is a pallet. Yeah, this is the main building pretty much. And here goes down these stairs. Leads down to this one pallet down here. That's why I was like saying 5.5 pallets is in the main building. You can see through little icicles and stuff and see over this. So it's a pretty decent pallet to loot for a little bit, unless like the killer's range and you're gonna have to like be a little weary when doing like looping. But overall it's fine. And it leads up over here into like the little scaffold tower that I was talking about. I'd say the vault upstairs is pretty weak, but the pallet is pretty good. As you can see on this tarp sign, you can loot, you can see through the tarp a bit. And then here goes the long side over here. If the pallet is thrown on the outside, it's kind of like, you know, the killer can mind game and get a hit off. But if you throw it and then go around the inside, it goes really far around, as you can see. And you can wait and be very patient around to hit this vault. And you can see what the killer is doing, because like you can see this is all open right here. So it's a god vault, you know, on the inner side than the outside. Still good nonetheless. Now upstairs over here, one thing to note about up here is this vault is pretty weak because the killer can just drop around right here. I mean, you can kind of fake it, but you know, if they're close enough to drop down right here, that means like to immediately hit you, they're close enough to just hit you right here. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, there is a drop down on the right side, a drop down right here. And if you go all the way around, there's a drop down over here. Now you can hit the vault from this side, which I mean, like, why would you hit it from this side? But you know, it is still there nonetheless, you know. Now one thing, like, so in my map, I included this car because this hole is here. This hole is always here. And it literally just drops down towards the pallet, you know? So yeah, balance landing literally goes crazy. Cause like, to be honest, like the tower is not really that good outside of this pallet. But if you want, like, if you have balanced, either you go up top, balance right here, or I'd say balance down here and run straight back to main building, because main building is still pretty good. This tarp right here, this is a filler tarp. The pallet can spawn right here, or it can spawn right here, depending. I think both are still fine, because like if you're patient enough, you can still kind of see the killer through these bits of tarps, like on both sides. This is the longer side right here. To me, this one is like kind of better, just because you can see like right here, or like right here, like as you can see like this little part of the tarp. So I'd say like when you're looping, you can kind of like slow down right here just to see if they try to double back when you technically have no line of sight on them. All right, so the thing with these fillers is that the fillers can spawn right under the scaffold tower. They can spawn right above this pit or hill right here. They can spawn right under the same pit or hill. They can spawn to the right of the same pit or hill. And they can spawn right under the main building. But yeah. This is a hill loop right here. When I said there's either pits or hills, this is where either pit or hill can spawn. And as you see, the pallets right here. Not every hill loop has a pallet, not every pit has a pallet, but when they do spawn, they're pretty decent. As you can see over here, the bottom left is another hill. And they have the pallet over here. I'd say this pallet is, it's alright, you know? It's alright, it's decent. But yeah, it's one of the other hills. This tarp spawned at nothing right here, this filler. And here goes the tile in the middle, the jungle gym tower, but we got a TNL. Alright, so here goes a pit. Now this is, pits either look like this, or they look like two lockers in the middle, and there's no pallet there. But every pit that has a pallet always looks like this. The shack goes over here at the bottom right of the map. Alright, so the cinder block loops, I don't know, this vault is kind of weird, right? I think it's pretty cool. It's a pretty fun one to me, because like I'd say it's better to like run it right here and see how close the killer gets and then go for the vault, because like the killer can't like just swing all the way around and wrap it around and hit you guaranteed like at this vault if you hit that fast vault. So I'd say looping it this way is a little bit better as long as you're patient enough and like looking. You see? Oh, I just got stuck right here. Oh, that's weird. That is something to note then. So you can't like, you can come at an angle, but just be wary of like trying to like hug this little cylinder right here. You see, there's something right there. You can loop it, you know, either way. You can hit it right here, but you don't have enough time, you know, to be like, oh, they're definitely going to commit on this side, you know. Right next to it, to the right of it, and there's always a pallet up here. Always. It's a filler. I wouldn't say it's a really good pallet, but it's a pallet. You know, nonetheless, it's something. And it's right by shack. You know, if you can get a stun off, you can make it to shack, or if you're using it to get the tile above it, you know, that is like, those are options. And then there's two tiles on the right side of the map, as you can see. Right here. Then a filler in the middle of the two tiles can spawn, or there can be nothing. And then over here. And that's basically the whole map. And that's a rundown of how to loop the main building and the general breakdown of the map as a whole. This is Esu, and thank you for watching my video. If you have any questions or requests, be sure to comment them below.
Esu, the way I was watching your YouTube video and I heard you say, "Hey everybody, it's Esu," and I went, "Huh? Who's that?" Who's that?